SBDC. This session will be a discussion of programs here in Fresno that support our local entrepreneurs, services that help develop a business and marketing plan, connect to capital, find the right talents as you look to open a business, and more. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to you, John.
Thank you so much, Courtney. And hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Transform Fresno 2022 is an exciting venue for us to be able to communicate and to provide you all with some of the services that the Fresno Regional Workforce Development Board is able to provide for you in your, new adventures, whether entrepreneurship or maybe you're an existing business that's already, got your foot on the ground, but you still need some assistance or something like that. So I think it's really important to kind of share our resources because not a lot of people know about us, right? I think the Workforce Board is kind of a hidden gem that a lot of people don't hear a lot about because we don't do a lot of marketing. We apply a lot of our money directly to our community, to our businesses and our job seekers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the presentation, talking about Fresno4Biz. Go to the next slide for me, please. Courtney, can you switch to the next slide, please?
Bear with the technical difficulties here. For some reason, I'm going to stop share and reshare again, okay?
No worries.
Let's try this again. It worked just fine a minute ago.
That's all right. I'll go ahead and just kind of start talking a little bit about it. So
okay, I'll just bear with it. Keep talking while I do this.
Will do. Thank you, Rich. So Fresno4Biz is a website that we actually created several years ago. And the purpose of Fresno4Biz is if you have any questions, you're able to log into that website. And it's very simple. It asks for basic information. It's going to ask you for your company name, who you are, your email address, and maybe a phone number. I believe it's like 5 items is all it's going to ask you for. And then after that, we try to make it as simple as possible. So what are some of the most general questions? It's literally click a box that applies to you. Once you do that, it's going to send it over to our team over at the Business Services Center. And there will be a representative that will look at that, and we will filter out and send you to the appropriate partner that we have. And we are partnered up with about 12 different agencies. And there we go. Thank you, Rich. So as you can see, and go and click it to the next slide, please, sir. Click one more.
You're asking for a miracle here, John. I'm going to keep it live and just go back, okay? So bear with me.
No worries.
We're not allowed to do this on a Saturday, I think, is what it is. So, yeah, it is not. It's locking up on me every time here. So bear with me, guys. Keep talking, John. We're going to get through.
All right. So once you click on one of the boxes, like I said, it will let us know what your interests are. And so we will filter through that ourselves. And we will send it to the appropriate partner so that they can reach out to you and touch base. You could be asking for something that's appropriate for the Better Business Bureau, or maybe it's more appropriate for SCORE or any of the other agencies we utilize. And so we are going to do a lot of that legwork, so you don't have to try to figure out what exactly it is you need, because there's things out that you may not know, correct? So we want to take some of that work away from you. And then we usually do this within about a 48-hour time frame. That is our ultimate goal. If we can get that turnaround time as quickly as possible, because time is of the essence and you need a response quickly. So we want to be able to do that. All right, looks like Rich has got it going again. Okay, go ahead and pause right there. So I mentioned our partners. And so as you can see, here's some of them. Fresno State University, obviously, SBDC, Rich, we love working with you all. We have EDC on there. Access Capital, which is one of our one of the banks that we're able to help get loans and things like that for businesses or startup businesses. Rich, I know you have a huge footprint in that game as well. So like I said, this is a great platform for if you're not quite sure who to talk to. We're going to help you navigate that area and get you to the right people. Go ahead and click forward for me, please, Rich. And this we already kind of went over, but I want you to be able to see it. As you can see, the information at the top, very minimal information that it's going to ask for. And then you can see the little highlighted blue sections. Once you click on one of those, it's going to expand a little bit. Go ahead and move forward, Rich. They'll expand, and then you can go into a little bit more detail as to what you're looking for. Go and continue going forward. Okay. And this part I already kind of went over, so we'll go skip forward again. All right, click again for me, please, sir. All right, so it's a couple of things we're looking at: creating opportunities for business owners and local talent. So obviously, on the business side, it's challenge and opportunity, right? So we are looking for recruitment, of a talented workforce, and how we're going to get to that, get that talent, even if it comes to the point where, if any of you know what we do, we can actually fund training to try to get the right talent to our businesses. Also access to tax credits, things like that, depending on what's going on at the time. We're able to navigate that and send you to the right people to get those tax credits to try to help your business thrive. And then on the talent side, which is, what we'd like to call in the workforce world, human capital, opportunity to explore potential career opportunities. So we want to help you discover what's out there, what's a good avenue to take. Is it a growing industry that you're looking at getting into? And then industry specific training, like I just mentioned, we're able to fund that. And all this stuff that we're doing, most people find it amazing. I think there's a catch, but it's all at no charge. And I think that's one of the phenomenal things. I like to say, you've already paid for us with your tax money because we are grant funded, so you might as well use us, right? Take advantage of the opportunity. And so a lot of people tend to think, hey, you know what, that makes sense, right? So go ahead and move forward a little bit for me, Rich. So talent retention, retaining qualified talent teams, essential for your business operations. We kind of go over that with businesses. We want to, kind of let them know you really need to invest in your in current employees if you want to retain them. It could be training, it could be the values of your company, and obviously even how we're all treating each other, right? So we kind of mention all that stuff. We want to educate our employers as well. Expansion opportunities, explore opportunities based on the organization's goals and current personnel, like I just kind of mentioned, and being competitive, staying up to date on the trends, strengthening your team, competing in today's business world. And I think that even stems into going a little bit deeper, such as technology. And I think that's a key thing right now. We're seeing a lot of advancement in technologies, whether that be robotics or things like that. We need to keep up to date, not only with our employers being able to get that technology, but also the people that are able to do repairs on it, program it, maintain it, things of that nature. And so that's a good skills upgrade for a lot of people, so they can receive a little more income as well. Okay, you can skip forward for me, please. So navigating the world of human resources in volatile times, adaptability. I mean, I think with COVID and everything hitting, where we really put an emphasis on adaptability for all of us, new ways to operate, remoting from home, physical locations. A lot of us are doing hybrid. I myself am technically on vacation, but I'm able to remote in so that I can participate in this event because it's important. And so I think that adaptability is highly important for us all. The implication of adapting a team work site to comply with the pandemic, like I just mentioned, it's crucial. And so we're all having to make adjustments, and we want to do our best to assist any organizations that haven't been able to make any adaptations at this time. Retooling your system for your business. And I'm just going to kind of skim over these last couple. Mandates, closures, leaves, layoffs, things like that. The Coronavirus Response Act. Now, these are some things that we're able to cover not only with the Fresno4Biz, but we also have other stuff like our HR hotline, which is going to be mentioned in the very next box there of compliance. We have an HR hotline that employers are able to call and get answers, at any time. And the great thing is it's all confidential. So you don't have to, you don't have to share who your business is. You can just call and ask the questions and get answers from HR representatives. The other thing that we do is we also put on some HR workshops. We do these on a monthly basis, sometimes 2 or 3 a month. And it's free for any businesses that want to come in and hear some in-person tips on what's going on, whether it be COVID or just, HR problems, we'll say, or, anything going on, what you're supposed to look for in employees, how you're supposed to interview them, things of that nature. So I think that's just also really important to point out. And then compliance, I just kind of mentioned that. And as you can see, all of this, like I said, is no cost and confidential. If you can go to the next slide, Rich. So mobilizing rapid response. This is an area I'm very familiar with, as I am the rapid response coordinator as well. So what is the challenges? Closures and layoffs. I mean, that is what it is, right? We've already had that prior to the pandemic. And I'll be honest with you, since the pandemic, I think we noticed a little uptick. I don't think we got hit as hard as a lot of other places did, but still it was noticeable. So what are we going to do about it? What we are trying to do is we are trying to, first of all, we want to step in and try to prevent the layoff altogether. If we can help the businesses from closing, then we don't have the layoffs, or we don't, and that's ideal. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes the layoff is going to happen, or the closure. And so what we have to do is figure out ways that we can get in with the employer, and they will let us on property so that we can come in and talk to the employees there, find out what are their goals, what is their positions, and how are we going to be able to assist them. And we can do that many different ways. What are some of the couple of key things that we do is, first of all, we will come in, we will do a interview workshop, we will do a job, help them with job search, and we'll do a, oh my God, there was one other thing, and I apologize, I can't remember what it is right now. Interviewing skills and resume building workshop. My apologies. Those are the 2 major workshops. And then we're going to help you with the job search. And I think that's also a very crucial key as well. And so our whole goal with doing those workshops that are all for free, we are going to try to get you into reemployment within 45 days. Part of the reasons we're trying to do that is, one, is it's going to help the businesses, as they won't have to do any compensation for workers' comp. And also it's going to help the employee, because we don't want you to have any bills stacking up. We don't want you to have, your car payments, your house payments, you're losing any of that stuff. Because unfortunately, we've seen it all too many times that once that happens, financial struggles can start affecting the family household. And, we don't want any of that to happen. We don't want any, anyone to be separating or anything like that. And so we do our best to try to cut everything off at the pass as early as possible. Some of the things we're also able to provide is, training. If maybe the industry that they are in, that's why they're closing. Maybe it's a dying industry, right? So if we need to get you out of the, I don't know, maybe the baker industry, you're baking, we'll use, I don't know, some bread company, maybe Bimbo bread or something closing down, right? So what we'll do is we can retrain you, get you some certifications. Maybe you want to go into accounting, or maybe you want to be a nurse, or maybe you want to do, something just completely different. That's a perfect opportunity for us to be able to pay for that training for you. And I think that's very essential. All right. Next slide, please. And Rich, I do believe it is your turn, sir.
I think it is. And before we go any further, I just want to really thank my friend Courtney for taking over the PowerPoint slide progression, because for some reason it works fine when you try it, and when you actually truly implement it, it does not. So thank you, Courtney, for that. Again, I'm going to talk to you just very briefly about 2 things, the importance and why we feel that Fresno4Biz is important, and then also what Valley Community SBDC is all about. So I'll start with us. Valley Community Small Business Development Center As part of a network of over 400 small business development centers throughout the country, we are primarily funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration, and we receive some supplemental funding from the state of California GoBiz department. And what we do, in essence, as the slide will tell you, is we provide no cost, just like John. See, we're all like trying to give it away to you, just you got to want it. We provide no cost, confidential business consulting, training, counseling to entrepreneurs and small businesses. We do everything from one-on-one consulting, which is primarily done through our pool of over 34 expert consultants. We also do webinars and work in conjunction with organizations like the WIB and with Transform Fresno to try to get the word out and help small businesses. Our service area, our coverage area is Fresno, Madera, Tulare, and Kings counties. We're a very large center. We're the largest in the Central Valley. So the most important thing to know that is, if you know or are an entrepreneur or a small business owner that's looking for help or assistance or guidance, or just wants to know the current availability of programs that can serve them, they can contact us. They can go to our website, valleycommunitysbdc.com, and hit the magic green Get Started button. And that will get you signed up for our services. You know, we are free, but there's always a form. As John will know that, there's always a form, but there's no cost to that. And once you do that, we will assign a counselor to sit down and talk to you and go over your needs and your concerns with your small business. So it's an excellent program. I highly encourage you to use it. But now I want to talk a little bit about why it's so important that we join forces, all of our business service providers here in the Central Valley, and align underneath the Fresno4Biz banner. You know, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I don't want to say the number because it makes me feel incredibly old, but in my humble opinion, if all of us, all of the centers, all the chambers, all of the SCOREs, the workforce development boards, women's business centers, all different kinds of programs, did everything they could do at full capacity, we'd still only probably scratch the surface of the need in the Central Valley. So it's really important that we don't work in silos and we work together as teams to help every single business that we can. And truthfully, I was on the founding board of the Fresno4Biz program, and I think it's a great idea where folks have a universal idea. They can go here, and I can either get help from this entity or that entity, and they help streamline your needs. You can go to all of us individually, and that's no problem, but at least now you have a one-stop shop that can help you with that. And one of the things I will agree with John, we're also under that same boat, John. Sorry about being the best kept secret. You know, the Workforce Investment Board does some amazing programs and has some amazing things that are no cost that can help small businesses, and we need to spread that word as much as possible. So between us and all of our members, SCORE, the Better Business Bureau, Fresno State, different organizations, Access Plus Capital, we're here to help. And we don't fight, we get along, and our goal is to make your business succeed. And by working together, I think we have the best possibility to do that. So with that, I told you, I promised you I'd keep it short, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll turn it back over to John. And Courtney, next slide, please.
John, you're muted.
Thank you for that. So yeah, thank you, Rich, for the kind words. And you're right. We do. I think we all work together very well. And I'll be honest with everybody on the call. I think that largely is because many of us has such a passion for what we do. You know, we've been on the end of an individual. You know, I myself have been involved in 2 layoffs myself. So being unemployed, looking for that next step, you know, whether it be employment, am I looking to be an entrepreneur and start my own business? Am I looking to go into retraining? And I've done the training thing, you know, and I've went directly into employment. Haven't started my own business yet, but I'm probably going to work on that one pretty soon, Rich. You and I've kind of talked. But
that's next, John. I got my hook on you.
So the good thing is about a lot of the individuals that, you know, even work for the Fresno Workforce Board, and even for yourself, Rich, is we've been through it ourselves. So we have an understanding of what's going on. So we're able to really, you know, understand, you know, what you're going through. So when you come and work with us, you're not in it alone. You have a team working for you. You have a team that's going to help your business, or if you're a job seeker and you're looking for assistance on which way to go, you have us here. And we like to think of ourselves as a family, and we're here to help our community as a whole. So please reach out to us anytime that you have any questions, and we'd be more than happy to help you.
Great. Thank you both, John and Rich, for a great presentation. Now we'll go into our Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions for our speakers today, please go ahead and use the raise hand feature or *9 on your telephone. And I will call on you to unmute yourself, and we can get that started. If you feel more comfortable putting your question in the chat or in the Q&A section, please go ahead and do so, and I'll read it out loud to our speakers and they will answer it. Does anybody have any questions?
One little extra nugget of knowledge I'll throw out there while we're waiting on any questions that might be coming in is one of the things that I think are really kind of unique with the Fresno Workforce Board is we have industry focused representatives. So we have a certain individual that is focused on government agencies, which is myself, manufacturing, construction trades, different industries. And so whenever you do reach out to us, if you're looking for something, you are going to get someone that's very knowledgeable in that industry to help you make the decisions on what it is that you want to do, whether you're opening a business or you're looking to get into the industry for employment.
And just because John said something really important, and I can't let him take the credit for that. The bottom line is that's very true. A good organization will have folks who have the experience and background and expertise in the type of issues you have. And that's why, with all of us, again, we have a very large pool of 34 consultants, like I said, who are experts in various areas, everything from startups to exporting to procurement to all kinds of wonderful things. We specialize a lot in financing, but truthfully, nobody knows everything. And then that hence the importance of this kind of collaboration, because the beauty of it is, if I ever get a client and we try to help them and we realize there's just no way we can help them in a certain subject matter, we know who to turn them to. And usually most are free or low cost. The perfect example is my center. We do not give out HR advice. Don't believe it's a good idea for us. We're not experts. We shouldn't be doing it, even if we have consultants who are experts in HR. I will send them to the Workforce Investment Board with their HR hotline to get it from experts who are up to date with all the current laws. So that's one of the reasons there's value to this kind of proposition of working together as a team, even though we are in our own little worlds trying to get the job done.
Yeah. Well said, Rich.
Thank you both. Any questions before we close out? You guys must just have said it so well. No questions needed. Well, I want to thank John and Rich for the great presentation. That concludes our second set of sessions for the summit. I want to remind everyone that all sessions are being recorded and will be posted on the Transform Fresno website next week, along with all of the presentation materials. So you can go back and review those if you'd like. We will now close this session and invite you to attend one of our next sessions, which will be the Gladiator Welding Program with State Center Community College District and a Cooking Matters demonstration from Fresno Metro Ministry. This will be after a 1-hour lunch break, so those will start at 1 o'clock. If you're having trouble finding the links to the sessions, please visit the Transform Fresno website and click on the summit page, and you'll see all the links to all of the sessions. Each session will not be live until their respective time. So we hope you can join us. Thanks again. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.